How do you choose between pianists from entirely different generations, several generations apart, both of whom are highly talented? That's the question that's going to be coming up for you on Friday, November 15th at 8 o'clock in the evening, European time, 2 in the afternoon on the East Coast, and 11 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. I've said this recently, but I'll say it again. We don't live forever. And some of the great artists of the past half century are not going to be around with us for forever. At the end of October, it was Daniel Barenboim and Martin Argerich playing a Beethoven concerto together. Barenboim is canceling concerts now because he's having health issues, serious health issues. And another example is this Friday, November 15th. It's Rudolf Buchbiner. He's 78 years old. He's the Czech pianist who has been around, has been a force in international music for 60 years. And he's being live streamed by and with the Cologne Symphony Orchestra. It's free of charge. They're doing a concert called Lebenswege, Life Paths. He'll be playing Brahms Concerto No. 1 in D minor for piano and orchestra. And then what will they do next? They'll do Bartók's Concerto for Orchestra. The conductor for this concert is it's the Romanian-born conductor Cristian Măcelaru, a Grammy Award winner 2 times, I think, music director of the Orchestra Nationale de France, chief conductor of the Cologne Philharmonic, plays with all the top opera houses. He's really into opera conducting, and he's conducted, his bio says, 90 symphony orchestras around the world. So this is, Cristian Măcelaru coming in to conduct a Bartók's Concerto for Orchestra. As for Buchbinder himself, well, the thing about Buchbinder is, though, that he's really a Beethoven specialist. If you go to his website, you see, first thing you see is learn about the renowned pianist Rudolf Buchbiner, his upcoming performances of Beethoven's piano concertos and sonatas. So he's playing Brahms's piano concerto, but that's not his specialty. He's the guy who's played all 32 of Beethoven's piano sonatas over 60 times. Repeatedly, he's done that over a 7-day period of time, just playing and playing and playing. So he has recorded some Brahms songs for Deutsche Grammophon. Stage Plus live streamed him playing a Gershwin piano concerto this past August. So I get the feeling the guy is trying to branch out. He's 78 years old, and I think he's saying, well, I don't want to just play Beethoven to the end of my days. I want to mess around and play some other stuff. Well, he'll have his hands full with the Brahms first piano concerto. It took Brahms 4 years to write it. Well, it always took Brahms forever to write anything. Why? Well, because he always felt he had Beethoven watching over his shoulder, which he did. Do I have a picture of Buchbinder for you? I thought I did, but this is the picture of Buchbinder. So it took Brahms 4 years to write it. He started out as a symphony, turned into then a sonata for 2 pianos, and finally he just asked everybody what he should do, and he decided, well, he was a professional pianist himself, turns it into a piano concerto. Anyway, there's no way of saying that this is not going to be an excellent concert with Buchbinder or Buchbinder would probably be the way the Czech would pronounce it, and with Măcelaru on the podium and with the pieces that they're playing. It's just a marvelous concert that they have set up, and it's free of charge. Brahms and Bartók. But there's something to be said for youth. There's something about discovering a rising young artist who's just tearing up the pea patch, as they would say back in Tennessee. though I've never been to Tennessee. I have a sister-in-law who ended up living there. But anyway, Friday, November 15th at 8 o'clock in the evening, at the same time as the 78-year-old Rudolf Buchbiner is playing Brahms in Cologne, or Köln, the young Alexander Malofeev, piano prodigy, age 23, is playing Tchaikovsky in Lisbon with the Gulbenkian Orchestra. And Malofeev is a Tchaikovsky specialist. In 2014, he's 23 years old now, okay? He was, like 13 years old? He won the International Tchaikovsky competition for young musicians. I have a picture of him. You know, you've just been looking at a picture of the older guy, Buchbinder. I'll pronounce it European style now. There's the guy. This is how young he is. But he's played with the Amsterdam Concertgebouw, the Munich Phil, the Elbphilharmonic in Hamburg. He's played at Carnegie Hall and other places. He's played with the Frankfurt Radio Orchestra, the Orchestra de la Suisse Romande under Marina Alsop, and I'll be talking about her in just a moment. And with many others. So, and he will be doing Tchaikovsky's Piano Concerto No. 2 in G major. This is a young guy, a hotshot, playing what he plays best, Tchaikovsky. How do you decide whether to watch this concert or whether to watch the concert at the same time, which will be ongoing at the same time with the Cologne Philharmonic and Rudolf Buchbiner playing Brahms? Well, you could decide to watch Buchbiner because how much longer is he going to be around? He's 78 years old. Or you could decide that you want to discover this new kid who may be around for the next 50, 60 years and who specializes in what he's playing, whereas Buchbiner does not specialize in Brahms. I don't know. It's a choice that's got to be made. Anyway, let me talk to you a little bit about the entire program. They're starting out playing Alfred Schnittke's Pianissimo. Then they do the Tchaikovsky with young Malofeev. And then they'll be doing a piece called Fairytale Poem by Sofia, by this woman here, Sofia Gubaidulina. She's 93 years old. So we're going up and back between generations here. She was born in Kristopol in the Russian Republic of Tatarstan in 1931. She was a protege, you could call it, of Dmitri Shostakovich, the legendary. But she had a thing about freedom. I want to read you something she said about it. She said, "Without it, I would not have survived as a composer. I could not have written without a free soul. That was just an either or. But a free occupation was not possible in this regime. I was not dangerous. My music was not the problem. It did not really matter, but the desire for freedom was in my eyes." And so she ended up living in Germany. Her works have been performed by the Berlin Phil, the Leipzig Gewandhaus Orchestra. She's worked with conductors like Christian Thielemann and Simon Rattle. Bachtrack, the online magazine, recently said that they selected her as the most played composer in the world. If you haven't heard her, this is a chance to hear her. Why haven't you heard her? She's won Sweden's Polar Music Prize, which is a big deal. I lived in Stockholm half time, so I know. She's won Japan's Premium Imperial Prize, and she received the Federal Cross of Merit from the government of dear old Deutschland. So that is a concert that you may well want to hear. And after they finish up her fairytale poem, well, what will they be doing next? Well, they'll be doing the Tchaikovsky's suite based on Swan Lake. So, I mean, that's an evening. How can I not recommend that to you? As much, possibly more than I would recommend the Cologne Philharmonic playing at exactly the same time, the same evening. Tough choice to make.